Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you just saw, little clips, I'll insert some more here, but last night we ran at the track and, you know, we didn't have high hopes going to the track. It was, my gosh, freaking 106 degrees all day. It was so freaking hot. And I'm going to insert a couple, well, maybe like a picture or two here, but I got to shoot our buddy Joseph's Viper. It's really badass. I think it's a 2014 Viper TA. The thing is sick, and I'll do a video here actually doing a pull in it. It was badass. But so I shot that yesterday before going to the track. By the time we got to the track, oh man, I think it was like 10 o'clock because we had to install Kevin's diff brace. We waited till the last minute, and we can't be at the house right now because Rachel's having her bachelorette party, bridal shower stuff. So we had to install his diff brace real quick in the driveway and then head over to the track. So we got to the track, and lines weren't long or anything, which was pretty cool. But you know, the DA when we got there was still 6,500, I think, and it ended up dropping to 6,200 because it dropped to like 83 degrees, which isn't too bad. So first pass went out. Totally forgot to even check the tires, but I thought they were at like 21, 22, but I should have double checked and I didn't. I was just trying to get a pass in, but I did the ice tank and everything. IATs were about 95 to 100. The intercooler temps were about 55 to 60, so the ice tank was working good. Went and did a burnout. You know, I'm on the new ET Radial Pro, so I didn't know how much of a burnout to do, to get them really hot or not get them too hot. So I did kind of my normal burnout, ended it just short, just a little early, and you'll see in the videos compared to the burnouts I did on my 17s. And because I have heard that you shouldn't do like big smoky burnouts on these tires, especially when it's hot out and especially when the track's not hooking that well. So yeah, so went out and cut a 165 60 foot on the 15s, which is shit. I mean, that's just a terrible 60 foot. I've cut better 60 foots on the 17s. Car spun real bad out of the hole, hooked up a little bit, and then when I got to the 8, the back kind of kicked out. I felt it kick just a little bit, so I let off the throttle and got back into it. Now, I should have probably honestly just stayed out of it, but I decided to get back into it, as you'll see. Ended up running like a 10.9 at 131. Pretty embarrassing, but you know, the car's got a whole new setup on it. And the biggest thing, if you guys don't go to Test and Tunes, is that's literally what it is. It's test and tune. They don't prep the track as best as they could, or as they should, because the best preps you're gonna get is when they have an actual race going on, because people are paying money to race and there's points involved and there's money and trophies. So that's when you get the best prep track. But test and tune is literally, you know, they clean it, they drag it a little bit, you know, they mop up spills, things like that, but you're not gonna get really good sticky prep track for Test and Tune. So it's kind of a shot in the dark. Plus on Test and Tune, you've got everyone and their grandmother and their Camry out there running. Nothing against people running cars on street tires. It just for us cars that are a little bit quicker with a little more tire, it sucks because the street tires are grabbing and putting shit all over the track. They're pushing the water out. So the street tires just aren't good for the track, period. But you know, it's Test and Tune, and that's kind of, you get what you get on those nights, and that's what you got to remember. Because I was pretty frustrated after this first run at 10.9, but you got to remember it's Test and Tune, so you know you're gonna get what you're gonna get. And sometimes you will get a Test and Tune where the track's actually really good, and you'll get lucky. But last night it just wasn't holding at all. So then Kevin ran. I think he ran a 10.7 at, I don't know, somewhere in the low 130s. You'll see it. And same thing. He was spinning like crazy. So I let my car cool down just a little bit, drained the water, put some ice back in it, drained it, put more ice back in it, got back up, decided to run one more time. Did less of a burnout this time, as you'll see in the video, but I cut a shittier 60 foot and I dropped the tire pressure a little more, but I cut a shittier 60 foot, but it was even closer towards the end of the night, so the track may have gotten even worse. It's kind of hard to say. So once you're kind of at these power levels and with these mods, there's a lot of variables. You know, you're trying to play with the tire pressure, and you know, sometimes you can't go too low because of how heavy our cars are. Usually you run a little bit higher PSI, but it depends on the track, depends on the temperature. there's just so many variables going on inside, and so you got to be just really test and tuning exactly what it is. So you're just trying out different combinations and really seeing what works best. So I cut a shittier 60 foot, a 171, but I cut 1050 in the quarter, which is still slow for my car. 1050 is real slow. But after the 60 foot, it actually hooked up better, so I was able to stay in it. So my trap went back up to 136. Now I typically trap 139, 140, so the trap still wasn't there, but I was able to stay in it just a little bit more than the previous run. So after that run, I was a little frustrated, but at the same time, I remembered it's test and tune, plus the track was closing, so decided just to shut it down for the night, drove the car home perfectly fine. So it's always good when you can drive to the track and drive your car home. There's no worse feeling than going to the track and not being able to drive your car home. So, and that stuff, you know, that's just part of it, but it is nice when you can actually drive your car home. So we went home safe last night. I think, so today's Saturday, and I think we're gonna actually go to the track today because there is a brackets point race. And so we talked to the manager of the track, and supposedly the track will be a lot better prepped today. Plus, they're open till midnight tonight, so we'll actually be able to run a little bit later when it's actually a lot cooler, and hopefully the DA will drop a little bit. Maybe we'll get a DA in the 5,000s, maybe like a 5,900, 5,800, which isn't a huge difference, but it's better than 65 to 6,800. I'll take it. So we'll try and do some more filming. I really didn't film that much at all last night. I was kind of just focused on playing with the car, trying to get the settings right, and so I just have these couple cell phone clips that I'm going to show you guys. But we're still trying to figure out both cars. Kevin, same thing. He couldn't cut a good 60 foot either. So we're trying to play with the tire pressure, see what's going to work best. And we're trying to play with how smoky to get the tires. So I reached out to a few people that already have these tires, and it really just depends on the track. So we'll see how the track's holding up today, and yeah, see if we can get some better times. So sorry for the short video, but I wanted to update you guys, and I wanted to show you some clips of the car racing if you don't have like Snapchat or Instagram, because that stuff's always posted on there right away, but a lot of you guys don't have Snapchat or Instagram, so that's why sometimes I make these short, quick videos, just so I can insert those clips so you guys can enjoy them. But yeah, you know, didn't run what we wanted to run, but that's what it is. It's test and tune, so at least we got out there, had some fun, drove the car home, and we'll get back at it tonight, see if we can cut some better 60 foots at least, and we'll figure out the rest from there. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome weekend. Make sure you guys go over to Kevin's channel if you haven't already and subscribe. And if you are on Instagram, make sure you follow me at VanV39 and add me on Snapchat at VanV39, because you have already seen these clips last night. So that's gonna do it. We'll see you guys on the next one.